Nobody told me that fasting without magnesium is like trying to start a car without oil. The engine might run, but it's destroying itself from the inside. I wasted 6 months doing 16 to 8 perfectly, hit my fasting windows religiously, and watched my scale drop while my belly stayed stubbornly round and soft. Turns out, when your cells are starved of this one mineral, your body physically cannot unlock stubborn fat cells no matter how long you fast. It's like having a vault with the wrong combination. The craziest part, adding 400 milligram of the right type before bed transformed my results in just 11 days, and the science behind why this works will make you angry you didn't know it sooner. Let me show you which form actually works, and the exact timing that turns fasting from frustrating to unstoppable. Before we get into this, I need to say it up front. Always consult a healthcare professional before adding any supplements or making significant changes to your fasting routine, especially if you're on medications or have underlying health conditions. What I'm sharing is educational, based on experience and research, not personal medical advice for your specific situation. 6 months. That's how long I spun my wheels thinking I was doing everything right, tracking every fasting hour like it was my job. Black coffee, sparkling water, the whole perfectionist routine, and yeah, the scale moved. I dropped weight, but that belly? Still there, still soft, still making me look like I was smuggling a deflated basketball under my shirt. I remember standing in front of the mirror thinking, what am I missing? What's the one thing all these fasting gurus aren't telling me? Turns out it wasn't what I was doing. It was what my cells literally couldn't do because they were missing one stupid mineral. And once I fixed that, 11 days. That's all it took to see my midsection finally start tightening up the way it was supposed to months ago. Let me paint you a picture of what's actually happening inside your body when you fast without enough magnesium, because this is going to make you rethink everything. Your fat cells, especially those stubborn ones wrapped around your belly, they're not just sitting there waiting to be burned. They're locked up tight, and the key to unlocking them, it's not just time. It's not just insulin dropping. It's a specific enzyme called hormone-sensitive lipase. That's the enzyme that literally breaks apart your stored fat, so your body can use it for fuel. But here's the catch nobody talks about. That enzyme needs magnesium to function. Without adequate magnesium, hormone-sensitive lipase is like a locksmith who showed up to the job without his tools. He's standing there, ready to work, but he physically can't open the lock. Your body's trying to burn fat, your insulin is low from fasting. All the conditions are right. But at the cellular level, your fat cells are just sitting there, locked tight, because the enzyme responsible for breaking them open is handicapped. Meanwhile, what does your body do when it can't access fat for fuel? It starts breaking down muscle instead. So you're losing weight on the scale, sure, but it's the wrong kind of weight. You're getting smaller but staying soft. That skinny fat look that makes you wonder why you're even bothering. Sound familiar? Now, this gets even more frustrating when you understand how fasting itself depletes magnesium faster than normal eating patterns. Every time your body burns fat, which is exactly what you want during a fast, it releases magnesium that was stored in those fat cells. Your kidneys then flush it out. Normally, you'd replenish magnesium through food throughout the day, but when you're fasting 16, 18, 20 hours, you've got this massive gap where you're burning through magnesium reserves without replacing them. It's like draining the oil from your car while you're driving it. Sure, the engine keeps running for a while, but eventually, things start grinding, seizing up, and breaking down. That's your fat-burning machinery without enough magnesium. And most guys have no idea this is happening, because magnesium deficiency doesn't announce itself with a big flashing warning light. It's sneaky. You just notice you're tired, hungry when you shouldn't be. Your muscles cramp more easily. You're not sleeping as well. Your energy during the fast feels off. You blame the fasting protocol. You blame your genetics. You blame everything except the actual problem. Your cells are literally starving for the mineral they need to do what you're asking them to do. But wait, it gets worse. Because magnesium doesn't just affect fat burning directly. It also affects how well your insulin works. Think of insulin like a delivery driver dropping off packages at your cells. When you have adequate magnesium, that driver is efficient. He knows the route, drops off the packages quickly, and moves on. Your cells respond to insulin properly, which means when you do eat during your feeding window, your body handles that food intelligently. But when you're magnesium deficient, that delivery driver is lost, confused, taking forever to drop off packages. Your cells become resistant to insulin signals. This is called insulin resistance, and it's the exact opposite of what you want when you're trying to burn belly fat. So now you've got two problems stacking on top of each other. Your fat cells can't release fat efficiently because the enzyme is broken. and your insulin resistance is making your body more likely to store new fat even during your eating window. You're working twice as hard for half the results, and all because of one missing mineral. Now, before you run to the store and grab any random magnesium supplement, stop. Because this is where most people screw it up and wonder why nothing changes. Not all magnesium is created equal. Your body absorbs different forms at wildly different rates, and if you pick the wrong one, you're basically flushing money down the toilet literally. Magnesium oxide? That's the cheap stuff you see everywhere. Your body absorbs maybe 4% of it. The rest? Straight through your system, possibly giving you explosive diarrhea as a bonus. Not fun. Not effective. Magnesium citrate. Better absorption, but it's a laxative. Great if you're constipated. Not great if you're trying to get through a work meeting during your fasting window without sprinting to the bathroom. What you want is magnesium glycinate or magnesium threonate. These forms actually get absorbed properly around 80–90% bioavailability. They cross into your cells where they're needed. They don't mess with your digestion. And they work. I take 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate every night before bed. Why at night? 2 reasons. First, magnesium helps you sleep better by calming your nervous system, so you're getting dual benefits. Second, it allows your body to replenish stores overnight, so when you wake up and continue your fast, your cells actually have what they need to burn fat efficiently. That simple change, 400 milligrams of the right form at the right time. That's what flipped the switch for me after 6 months of frustration. I've put together the complete fasting protocol in the pinned comment. Grab it now to improve your fasting results. And if this is already making more sense than 6 months of spinning your wheels, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Let me tell you what happened when I finally got this right, because the timeline is going to surprise you. Days 1–3. Honestly, I didn't notice much. My sleep got a little deeper maybe, but visually, nothing different yet. I was skeptical. Thought maybe this was just another hyped-up supplement thing. Days 4–7. This is where things started shifting. My energy during fasts felt different, more stable. Less of that afternoon crash where I'd stare at the clock counting down to my eating window. I wasn't thinking about food as much. My appetite felt more regulated, which I later learned is because proper magnesium levels help regulate ghrelin, your hunger hormone. Days 8–11. This is when I actually saw it in the mirror. My midsection started looking tighter. Not dramatically different, but noticeably firmer. Like my body finally decided to actually use those fat stores instead of just leaving them there. The softness started going away. My waist measurement dropped almost an inch in that week alone. And the crazy part, I didn't change anything else. Same fasting schedule, same foods during my eating window, same workout routine. The only variable was adequate magnesium. That's when I realized how much time I'd wasted. 6 months of doing everything right, while unknowingly sabotaging myself at the cellular level over one simple deficiency. Real talk, I'm curious how many of you are in the exact same boat I was. Comment how long have you been fasting, and is your belly still not budging the way you expected? No judgment here. I want to see if this magnesium thing is the missing piece for more people than just me. And if you already supplement magnesium, tell me which form you're using. I bet half of you are using the oxide garbage that doesn't even work. But the fat-burning acceleration wasn't even the best part. Because when you fix magnesium deficiency, everything starts working better. My sleep quality jumped. I was waking up actually refreshed instead of groggy. Deep sleep is when your growth hormone peaks, and growth hormone is one of your most powerful fat-burning hormones. So better magnesium, better sleep, more growth hormone, even better fat burning. It compounds. My muscle recovery improved. Remember how I mentioned your body breaks down muscle when it can't access fat? Well, magnesium is also critical for muscle protein synthesis. Once my levels were adequate, my muscles started holding on to size better even during fasted training. I was getting leaner without losing the muscle I'd worked hard to build. And the cravings. They mellowed out significantly. Magnesium helps regulate blood sugar, which means less of those intense sugar cravings that can derail your eating window. I could break my fast with a normal meal instead of feeling like I needed to demolish everything in sight. All of this from one mineral. It sounds too simple to be true, but that's exactly why it gets overlooked. We're conditioned to think results require complicated protocols and extreme measures. Sometimes it's just basic biology that's been neglected. Here's what's going to make you angry. Studies estimate that nearly 50% of people are magnesium deficient, half the population. And most have no idea. Why? Because modern farming has depleted magnesium from soil. The foods that used to be rich in it aren't anymore. Processed foods have almost none. Stress depletes it faster. Exercise depletes it. And fasting, especially extended or frequent fasting, depletes it even more. So you've got this perfect storm where the people who need magnesium, most people actively trying to improve their health through fasting and exercise, are the ones depleting it fastest while not replenishing it adequately. Your doctor won't catch it in routine blood work because blood magnesium levels don't reflect cellular magnesium. You can have normal blood levels while your cells are starving for it. The only way to know for sure is to supplement and see if things improve or get specialized testing that most doctors don't even offer. And the supplement industry doesn't help because they keep selling cheap, poorly absorbed forms that don't work, which makes people think magnesium doesn't work, so they give up and stay deficient. It's honestly maddening once you connect the dots. All right, let's make this practical. If you're fasting and not seeing the belly fat results you want, here's exactly what to do. Get magnesium glycinate or magnesium threonate. Start with 400 milligrams taken about an hour before bed. If you're a bigger guy or training hard, you might eventually increase to 600 milligrams, but start at 400 milligrams and see how you respond. Take it consistently, every single night. This isn't a take it when you remember situation. Your cells need consistent replenishment, especially if you're fasting regularly. Give it time. Don't expect overnight miracles. The fat-burning machinery needs to rebuild and optimize. Give it at least 2 weeks before you judge results, but pay attention to the earlier signs: better sleep, more stable energy, less intense cravings. Keep fasting like you've been fasting. Don't change your protocol. Just add this one piece. Let it do its job while you continue doing yours. Track your waist measurement once a week, not your weight, your waist. Because remember, you might be losing fat while maintaining or even building muscle, which means the scale might not tell the full story, but your waist measurement, that'll show you what's really happening. Don't make my mistake. Don't waste time wondering why it's not working when the answer is this simple. Grab that pinned comment below for the full protocol. And hey, if this video just saved you from months of frustration, subscribe so we can keep fixing these hidden bottlenecks that nobody else talks about. Look, this magnesium thing is a perfect example of a bigger principle I want you to understand. Sometimes the missing piece isn't doing more, it's fixing what's broken at the foundation. You can fast perfectly, you can train hard, you can eat clean during your window, but if your cellular machinery is handicapped by a basic nutritional deficiency, all that effort gets partially wasted. It's like trying to win a race with a car that's missing spark plugs. You can have the best driver, the best fuel, the best tires, but if the engine can't fire on all cylinders, you're never reaching your potential. This is why I'm so big on the fundamentals. Hydration, electrolytes, sleep, magnesium. These aren't sexy. Nobody's selling courses on optimize your magnesium for abs. But these basics are the difference between spinning your wheels and actually making progress. The Kong lifestyle isn't about complicated hacks. It's about understanding your body's actual needs and meeting them consistently. That's it. That's the game. So if you've been fasting for weeks or months and your belly fat isn't budging the way you expected, don't give up on fasting. Don't blame your genetics. Don't assume you're doing it wrong. Just ask yourself, am I giving my cells what they actually need to do what I'm asking them to do? Because time alone doesn't burn belly fat. Properly functioning cellular machinery burns belly fat. And that machinery needs fuel, not food fuel, but mineral fuel. Magnesium is the oil that keeps the engine running smooth. Fix that one piece, and everything else you're already doing starts working the way it should have been working all along. 11 days. That's all it took once I got this right. And honestly, the only thing I regret is not figuring it out 6 months earlier. Now go get your magnesium sorted and let your body actually do what you've been asking it to do this whole time. Focus on the carcass. Feed your cells the minerals they need. Trust the process. You've got this.